Hey Marissa, I thought I would just create a quick video for you here. Totally understand what you're saying about the NAs showing up on your worksheet. I actually just pulled up a worksheet from somebody from last year just to show you. You can use what's called the if error function. So the NA doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your formula. It just means because we haven't put anything over here, it shows up as NA because nothing's been filled in. So if we don't want that to happen, we can use what's called an if error function. And really the if error is just placed around your formula to show, sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. Basically you put an if error around it. So I typed in if error, open parenthesis, then I go to the end of my formula. There's a closed parenthesis here already, but that's for this VLOOKUP formula. I'm going to put in a comma to start the second argument within the if error function. And I could put in a 0 here, but if I put in a 0, then a 0 will show up for the discount for the amount due, everything. So I think actually in this case it would be better just to leave it blank. So to leave it blank, I can do quote, space, quote, and then I put in my end parenthesis to end my if error function. So once I do that, then I just hit the enter key and notice that it just leaves it blank then. So it works much better to put in your if error once you have your formula in there, because it can be super confusing. Your formula's in there, everything's working great, then you go back and put the if error in. So I can do the same thing here for this formula, if error, and then go to the end of my formula, comma, quote, space, quote, end parenthesis. And again, that just, well, basically what we're telling it is if there's an error in the cell, leave it blank by putting in the space right here. So if error, if there's an error in the cell, leave the cell blank. And like I said before, we could have put a 0 in there. If there's an error in the cell, put a 0. But for our purposes here, that might be a little confusing. So we can just leave it, tell it to leave it blank. So when we do that, that looks a lot nicer. I'm glad you brought that up. I'll probably figure out another example to send the rest of the class here. Since you have this done, I didn't mind going in here and putting in the formulas because I know yours is all right. But I don't want to give away all the formulas to everyone. So I'll find another example and teach everybody this if error function because it really does look a lot better in the end. So let me know if you have any other questions. Take care.